Hello and welcome to another edition at Up the Reds with me, Andy Canby. So, how's your Friday been? Yep, it's been one of those Fridays where we should be looking forward to having the weekend off. Liverpool are playing, and out of the blue came the decision by Jurgen Klopp that he is going to be leaving at the end of the season. So, my phone was buzzing like anything when the news broke, but I did get the news because as soon as Liverpool announced it, I get all the notifications from them, just like many of you guys. And come as a bit of a surprise. Now, lots of you have been upset, and rightly so. I understand your feelings and everything, but I also understand Jurgen's decision why he wants to vacate the best seat in football. Unbiased opinion, but lots of you will agree with me on this. Nothing really strange about the decision. He had to go. Sooner or later, he decided to go sooner. I've sort of like been sat at my office desk contemplating when the news came out, and I watched the video, and I also watched his press conference in full. By the way, some journos don't half-ass stupid questions. That's one thing I'll never get over, the questions that they ask him. He's not going to change his mind. Somebody told him about Alex Ferguson changing his mind, and he didn't. But Jurgen Klopp's not going to. He's decided that he is going to vacate. So there is time to reflect on Jurgen's time at Anfield. He wants us to do that at the end of the season. He's given his reasons as that he doesn't have the energy to take us into the future, but he's got enough energy to for the present, which I totally understand. I think he wanted to get this out as soon as. He told the club back in November of his feelings. One of the reasons he said was that he was in a meeting and they were talking about something about travel plans to wherever for pre-season, and he just thought, don't want to do it anymore. And he says that was in the back of his mind, and then obviously he's had time to think about it and come to his decision. I'm a massive fan of Jurgen Klopp, as you all know. I said when we took on Hodgson, it should be Klopp. When we took on King Kenny, and I'm a massive King Kenny fan, but football had moved on. King Kenny wasn't going to take us to the future, what we wanted. Brendan Rodgers came in, and you all know my feelings about Brendan Rodgers. I absolutely think that was probably not the best signing that we could have had, because without Sturridge, Gerrard, Suarez, it would have been a disaster for him. I'm surprised he lasted in the job. On all three occasions, I was hankering for Jurgen Klopp to take over. 2015, my wish and many others' wishes was granted, and he walked through the door. You can still remember his first press conference, saying that he wanted to turn doubters into believers. I was already a believer because he walked through the door. So were many. But it's going to be 9 years that he's been here before he goes. What can you say? He has rebuilt that club on and off the pitch. Forget about FSG for a moment. I'll touch on them after what Billy Hogan said. Jurgen Klopp has rebuilt our club in 9 years. There's no doubt about that. He wants to focus on the now. He wants to focus on the rest of the season. He's saying we've got 30 odd games left, which is great. So he brought the supporters back together because there were factions in our club. That's no secret. There was slightly getting fractions between the supporters and FSG. You know, the stupid things that they wanted to bring into the club. You know, banning the banners at the Kop. Jurgen intervened in that. You know, the Kop is the heartbeat of Anfield. It might be the smallest stand now, with the main stand and the new Annie Road stand being built, but the Kop will always be the main sort of like place to where the songs get started, the flags are waved. They don't get waved anywhere else at any other part of the ground, and yet you see other grounds, they have three sides trying to wave the plastic flags, but we basically have it at the main stand. And obviously on European nights, the big Liverbird flag goes along the Lower Kenny. So yeah, he's rebuilt the club. He's rebuilt the fan base. Some younger fans won't know any other manager other than Jurgen Klopp, but they are in it for the full ride. We've been in it for the full ride since he walked in. He's categorically saying he's never ever going to manage another English club again. He's going to take a year out to fully recharge. He can't sit on his backside because of the type of character that he is. He will come back into football, but it won't be in this country. I mean, his credentials are absolutely fantastic. Not just here at Liverpool. I mean, he's been doing it for 24 years. And anybody that's done it for 24 years, it's going to hit you one day. You know, I need to stop this. I need to get off this sort of like merry-go-round that's constantly, you know, that you're on. He's alluded to not having pre-season off, you know, because he's back on it, or he's always on it. He says I get 3 or 4 weeks off, but you know, it doesn't feel like I've got 3 or 4 weeks off. I think it was right we got the video to the supporters. Obviously the players got told that at some point today, and they're professionals. Okay, they know they've got a job to do between now and the end of the season. We've got 30 plus games to play, hopefully, and they'll be fully focused. As for us supporters, I knew this day would come, but I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. I'll probably feel a lot different at the end of the season. Whether I get a ticket for Wolves or not, I will be at that last game at Anfield, even if it's sat in a pub, because I want to be a part of, I want to celebrate Jurgen's legacy at the club, what he's done to us, and it's still unfinished business because we've got a lot of football to play for at this season. You know, we sitting top of the Premier League. We're in one final already. We've got the knockout stages of the Europa League. We're still in the FA Cup against Norwich. And by the way, I did tweet today, I bet Norwich wish they weren't playing us on Sunday. And that could be any team, because Anfield should be rocking. One thing Jurgen did say, he does not want the supporters to be making a song and dance about him. And I get that. And I think he's always said that anyway. But you're going to get some some people at Anfield wanting to sing his song, but he wants us fully concentrating on the team. And he said he's going to squeeze every last bit of energy that he has got left for this season out, and so is the team, and so should we. I've been critical on here about it not being a good as atmosphere this season, and yet we're flying in all comps. And my reasons for that. That's because we're getting tourists through the door and not real supporters. So yeah, but I mean, Jurgen's put me at ease with what he said in the 2 press conferences. He cannot give the team the future that it deserves. It needs to be somebody else to do that. But what he has done, he said, he has left the club in good hands, as in the team or the squad in good hands. The squad is young. He can't take it for the next 10 years. Totally understand that as well. It's ready for somebody else to take the mantle, but it won't be him. But he's guaranteed us supporters and us Reds that he's fully energised for the rest of the season. But after that, no. He wants to get his life back together. He's spoke to his family about that and gave the reasons to them, and they totally understand. He has no health issues, he said. It's just that he wants to take a break, and rightly so. So I'm quite comfortable with him making that announcement today. Like I say, I've had lots of people getting in touch with me saying that they're heartbroken, they can't believe it, something's gone on in the background, it's all FSG's fault. Do you know, at the end of the day, we look at Jurgen as a messiah, in the realms of Bill Shankly, because Jurgen gets the city, he gets the people, he gets the club. And I mean, he was made a Freeman of Liverpool, a sort of like honorary Liverpudlian Scouser, as he put it. He's really, really sort of like galvanised the place, the people that are in the club. Like I say, on and off the pitch, it's just fantastic. And he was saying the 2 new stands will be there forever. The training ground will be there for the next 40 years. Everything's state of the art. The team that he's brought in this season has been exceptional. But yeah, he just wants one last hurrah, and then he's going to go. He doesn't want anything rocking that between now and the end of the season. Like I say, I'll be celebrating at the end of the season, whatever it is that we achieve, and it's down to one man. He will be always classed as a legend. He brought many parties together. He transformed the way we played, everything in the background, the dietitians and whatever. Did he get everything right? Look, he's honest enough to admit he doesn't know the answer to that, and he'll reflect on it. People are making assumptions, of why he's announced it now. There's been some fallout or whatever. What I'd just like to say to you guys on here is, we've been listening to him for 8 years, nearly 9 years. So let's listen to what he wants us to do. Let's get behind the team. Let's let's give them, let us squeeze everything out of our support for the team. Anfield should be rocking every home game, no matter what the opposition. The away supporters this season has been absolutely fantastic. It always has been throughout the years, but it's been absolutely brilliant. And that'll just continue for all our away games. To those who reached out to me and said, I don't know what to do with myself, I'm besides myself, I understand. I totally do understand your feelings. But remember what the great man is saying to us. Let's not do that now. Let's enjoy the rest of the season, because we've got a fantastic squad and we should be backing them. So yeah, it's one of those videos where you want to say a lot of things, but you don't. But one thing I will say is, let's not listen to the clickbait from other supporters, other Liverpool fans who think they have a theory on to why he's going. We'll know eventually, because there's bound to be a book that's going to be made from him. But one thing is for sure, he's got my backing between now and the end of the season. A journo asked a stupid question: would you be involved in the recruitment process? And he went, no, it's not my job. It's people to do that here, So yeah, that's that with Jurgen. I'll maybe might come back to him, but Billy Hogan, he smiled away through that interview with the pressers today. Wasn't the thing I was expecting from the big boss of Liverpool. He said he'd had conversations regarding this with Jurgen in the past, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know why he was there. There was no need for him to be there, I don't think. Jurgen could have done that on his own. I did put out a tweet that Jurgen wouldn't throw any bombshells out about the possible real reason that he's going, but I believe his reason, what he's saying. But on the next manager to sit in the chair, I do have my opinion who I want right now, who can take the club forward with this squad of players. And it'll come no surprise to you lot. For me, it will have to be Xabi Alonso. There'll be Steven Gerrard fans out there. I don't think that would be a good move for the club personally. It would be, you saw what happened at Aston Villa. Anybody can manage in Scotland. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is up there now, so it's not a yardstick to go by. You'll probably say that Ange at Tottenham learnt his trade up there, and now look what he's doing at Tottenham. So but Ange is a better manager than Brendan Rodgers. So and Steven Gerrard. So yeah, you've got my name, who I want. There will be due diligence and process that the board at Liverpool will go through, but the decision has to be spot on. I do not want to be saying it like I've done in the past, the same name who should be the manager of Liverpool. I've give you my thoughts on this. I'm not going to bring him up in any other video unless Liverpool say, or Xabi Alonso says that he doesn't want the Liverpool job. believe me, it's one of the hottest jobs in world football. That has been made possible by Jurgen Klopp's last 8.5 years here, 9 years when he finishes. The person who takes on, they always say, big shoes to fill. Mind you, he's 6 foot something and he's big and whatever, but he will leave this club absolutely in 100% better position than when he took over in 2015. And nobody can argue with that. Nobody. It's now up to FSG to get the next appointment right, because we do not want to be going backwards. It has to be, like Jurgen says, the future. It has to be for the next 10 years. The person that's coming in knows how the board operate in transfers, in the way things are run. So they'll have an understanding. What does surprise me is Pep Linders and the rest of the backroom staff are going. So it's, I mean, Pep does want to become a manager. Yes, he's failed in back in Holland, and he's come back to he came back to Liverpool. Sometimes the assistant managers or coaches don't make good man managers, where Jurgen Klopp is an all-rounder. So yeah, Jurgen did touch on it. He says Pep's ready right now, and so is everybody else. So and he said he will be watching them from afar and 100% supporting them. So I don't normally do a video this long, but it had to be done because lots of people were saying a lot of things. Those of you who are still hurting, it's not a grieving process. It's just a, look, it's happened. It happens in football, you know, every day, you know, throughout the season, end of the season. It's not an easy way to be told, you know, that your idol that you think is immortal would have been at Liverpool Football Club forever and ever and ever. Unfortunately, Jurgen's done his bit. He wants to pass on the mantle to the next person and let the next person take it to the next mantle. Right, okay. That's all I need to say about this. We have a game on Sunday against Norwich. As I said earlier, I bet Norwich wish they weren't playing us on Sunday. Let's get behind the Reds. Let's get behind Jurgen, what he wants us to do. He wants us to get behind the team. Let's not make any stories about FSG, because it's not about them. It's about Jurgen and this young team getting over the line and see what they can do until the end of the season. Right. Okay, if you like what I've done, please smash us a like, and please subscribe, and please share this. And I will speak to you after the Norwich game. Up the Reds.